Gather round and hear more untold tales of the Dark Knight as we jump into Batman Secret Files issue number 1. Alrighty then everyone, so if you couldn't tell from that little intro, we have another anthology series on our hand brought to us by a series of different writers. First up is one from Tom King, the current main Batman writer. You see, Batman's all down in the dumps, his body is giving out on him and he just can't punch people as hard as he used to. However, Batman's good buddy Superman might have the cure for what ails him, and that is platinum kryptonite, brand new kryptonite invented right here for this story. Superman says he found this stuff in the deepest, darkest reaches of the Phantom Zone, and if you touch it, it will give you all the powers of Superman himself. Okay, I have several questions. One, given their entire 75-year history together, wouldn't Superman want to limit Batman's power? He has been known to go a little crazy in Tower of Babel every couple years. Furthermore, how did a piece of exploded planet Krypton get into the Phantom Zone when the whole point is that it was a prison? To protect Kryptonians from Kryptonian criminals? Furthermore, does this rock just give you the power, or does it come with all the limitations like needing Earth's yellow sun to charge you up? Because if so, how would any of that work in the Phantom Zone where there is no yellow sunlight? Oh, Tom King, even in a short-form storytelling manner, you still manage to befuddle me with all the holes in your premises. If it seems like I'm getting hung up on semantics, I'm really not. Like I said, this is a collection of short stories. Batman thinks about using the platinum kryptonite for a little bit, all the lives he could save. In particular, lives lost in the recent Tom King comic, but he ultimately decides to not do it. Now, as for the rest of the stories in this anthology, I won't waste your time by covering every single one, but I'll give you the Cliff Notes versions of the stories I enjoyed and why. We get a fun little detective yarn wherein Gordon and Batman try and solve the murder of a bunch of gang members, only to discover that they were killed by drones that were created by Wayne Industries. This leads Bruce to confront Lucius Fox, who have a bit of a moral and ethical debate over what it means to run a company while also trying to fight crime as a superhero. It was pretty cool. We get a Jack London-style man versus nature story wherein Batman goes into the frozen mountains to try and hunt down Man-Bat with a bow and arrow, making me feel like he's totally stealing Green Arrow's thunder. This one actually has a twist that kind of took me by surprise and made me feel some complicated emotions. I'm sure it will for you too. But I think we'll all agree that the best story in this collection was saved for last. It's brought to us by Tom Taylor, and it sees the Dark Knight joining forces with Bobo, Detective Chimp. Chimp needs Batman's help in saving the life of a young kid related to the man who released him from the circus early on in his career before he gained his powers. This kid has fallen in with a rough crowd, mainly the Riddler gang, and even though poor Detective Chimp gets shot in this scenario, he knows that forgiveness is key in this situation, that he wants to pay back the good faith that was given to him. Batman and Chimp also bond over their mutual skills as detectives, and all in all, it's just a really solid little short with a beginning, middle, and end, and a great way to close this out. So that was Batman Secret Files issue number 1, everybody, and overall, it was fine taken as a whole. I definitely think there's a story here that will please every type of Batman fan under the sun, but it's not exactly a book that I would say is a must-buy or something you need to run out and read right away if you want to understand the greater canon. It is a nice little diversion. Overall, I think I'd feel comfortable giving it a 7 out of 10, and maybe you'll enjoy it too. Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out some of these other videos I have available from the channel. Then you can follow me on Twitter and Facebook at Cape Joel, so you're always up to speed on what I'm doing next. And hey, did you know, outside just making great weekly comic videos, I'm also on several comic book podcasts, some of which are very popular. There's the Weekly Pull, which the shirt I'm wearing right now, that one goes every other Tuesday. Then there's the Elseworlds Exchange over on the Comic Pop channel. That's every Wednesday around 3 to 5, give or take. And then how could I possibly forget the Comic Multiverse, the show hosted by myself and Matt of Fortress of Solitude. That one goes live on this channel every Wednesday at 8, and also SoundCloud and iTunes later on. Be sure to check out and subscribe to those if you haven't already. I assure you, you won't be mistaken.